Okay, so in terms of what we're talking about there, the movement in the backswing, again, with the similar thing to the driver there, getting a bit ahead of it with your top half, head sort of getting more in front of the golf ball and coming a bit more on the steeper outside the line. When you had loft at your disposal, 7, 8, 9, it was fine. It just went a long way, and every now and then you sort of get them to jumped on you and you just go like 20 yards further. So your distance control was out with your shorter irons, yeah? Then as you went down the bag, sort of 4, 5 and so on to longer irons, because you were de-lofting it so much, there wasn't enough loft to play with. And you could just basically just send it off to the right. They'll get that kind of pull, smothery, hooky one, which you said you didn't like seeing at all, okay? So the left-hand one here kind of sort of showcases the movement on the way back. I'm trying to show these two spots here now, okay? So that's your backswing there with, there was a 5 iron there. And then we watch this one here now. And we did some of these drills here now where you're going back here and get the sensation the arms are falling down here. Up the top there. Let the arms fall. So this is the feeling you're going to do. So the club now is way behind you, but then your shoulder's way behind you. Now, you're not going to stay there. He's going to be coming forward as the club's going to come forward, but that's going to get the club working on a good angle back in the ball. So I want to show you sort of the backswing position you get into now, where we said the feeling in your backswing, I think, as a swing thought, more depth, high draw. That's 4 words you can sort of piece together and get a feeling of from here going, okay, right, more depth, high draw kind of sensation. If you actually look at your arms on this way takeaway now, your left arm will look longer because you've got more depth, okay? So when you get up here now, that backswing, now you can see where your shoulders, there's daylight between there, how much further that left arm's gone back, yeah? Because you've turned this shoulder and this hip more, so this arm now can just get further behind you. And then when you came down from this one here, you see the head sort of dropping down here now, that club now, again, quite steep, matching up more kind of with your left forearm, just too much angle into that golf ball there to get any kind of control and control that launch angle, okay? This one here now, as you start coming down, you can see that club now, it's probably about there, and there's your right forearm. I had one on the slow-mo camera, which I'll show in a second, where it actually does get a lot more shallow into the golf ball there. Club coming at the golf ball there now on a bit more of a different angle there. That club shaft is nearer the golf ball, so you can see a lot more kind of underneath and more in that, what I call that pebble skimming position. And the sensation you're going to try and hit that shape, yeah? Which it probably won't necessarily be a few times. I think the shots I want to see that you've been hitting there now, almost like those thinny, drawy ones, yeah? Which, like I say, when you're staying behind it and you're working shallower into the golf ball, you've taken the handbrake off your release, yeah? When you're coming down steep over the top, your arms can't square the club face up. So you have to do it with a lot of shoulder movement, or you back up at the shot, or you try and roll your arms over, yeah? And then when all those things have been taken away and that sort of restriction's gone, you're like, oh, Christ. And you'll get a few sort of overly drawn ones, okay? But it's getting that club working from a shallower angle here now, so you get more depth in your backswing. The feeling of the club is going to be doing this with the practice drill. When you go to hit the golf ball, just feel high draw, which I think in turn will get the feeling of doing that rather than you trying to go, where's the club again? You're just visualising a shot more. I think long term, whether you hit draw or fade, is neither here nor there, really. It's going to be something you're going to feel comfortable hitting. The fact you know how to kind of hit both shots, more control will be better. And I think if you know you can get the club working from a shallow angle in here, is it shallow? Yes. Is it shallow? Not really. I mean, still on the slightly steeper end. And you'll probably be somebody who does play golf from a slightly steeper angle, but there's a window in which you can sort of swing the golf club in. You're sort of the top end of that. If you start going outside that, you either need a lot of skill and a lot of luck or a lot of loft. And unfortunately, sometimes when you've got 4 and 5 irons in your hand, the loft's gone, the luck's sometimes gone, and the skill's good, but we're talking skill like top tour players and stuff, where you can really, and then thousands of golf balls to be able to manipulate that golf club at that speed, because the club head speed you're generating is massive anyway. So for you, it's almost got to be a better swing. So if you get that ball starting on the right-hand side, that's going to be a sort of tell when the ball starts that way. And again, launch angle, you've got some ideas of numbers there now. You would launch in those 7 irons, effective like a 5 iron, like 13 degree, I think one was at 12.6. There's some 5 irons on tour that go off higher than that. So if you're launching it with 2 clubs less launch, it's just too flat, mate. Okay, does that kind of make sense then, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool, right.